Today we're here in New York to talk to a recording artist, a multiple Grammy Award winner, a social activist, and one of the original members of the Fugees. His name is Pras, and today we're talking watches. Pras, thank you for coming here today. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
So how did you get into watches in the first place?
I never wore a watch until, obviously, with the Fugees, when the album came out, it did way beyond our expectation, you know. Record company gave us a huge check. I didn't even know those kind of numbers existed. And my first watch that I actually went and bought was a Skeleton Platinum AP.
So you skipped the Rolex, you skipped the Cartier, you went right to a Skeleton Platinum AP. And how did you come to that watch?
I went to Wimpy, I think. The salesperson realized my taste.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I guess he knew who I was, he was familiar with the group, and usually, especially back then, people usually like to wear, especially rappers, like to wear these watches with all the diamonds on it, right? And I was, first of all, they didn't have those, but, you know, I didn't want anything that was diamond. He said, you might want to try AP. I said, what is that? And then he started talking to me about it. And then when he brought it, I just fell in love with it. It's the Royal Oak, you know, skeleton face. I said, you know what? That looked like a statement watch. But then, as most collectors do, you want to collect and collect and collect. So then I went and bought me a Rolex with the little diamonds around it. Mm-hmm. I got the Cartier. I started collecting Breguets. I had a couple Jaegers, Frank Mueller. I had the IWC split second hand. Mm-hmm. So for about 6-7 years, I had about close to 180 watches. And then as I started to get really serious about the watches, I realized, okay, you know what? I'm going to focus on what I really love.
Yeah.
And so I stopped just collecting watches. I wanted to focus on certain pieces, special pieces.
Yeah.
So all my watches, I either sold them or gave them. Most of them I gave them away. Like friends I had, listen, you need a good watch. Here's the Breguet. So I started focusing on just two type of watches, AP and Patek as of a couple years ago. To me, Patek and AP, I would say, are the Bentleys and the Rolls Royce of watches. So I went from 180 to like maybe now I got about a good solid 40.
It's a good number.
It's a good number, but they're important watches. Like if we start with this, right? The Millenarium. I got this a couple years ago. I actually wear this watch when I'm like, don't want to be overzealous about what I'm wearing. If I'm wearing a suit, I'm going to an event. Mm-hmm. Like for example, I wore this with President Obama at an event. So this is more like if I want to just be clean cut,
yep.
You know, it's classy, you wear with a suit. Can't really wear it as an everyday watch,
sure.
You know. And also it's a novelty piece. And then what they did is they actually made a lot of offspring off of this. So you have like the Quincy Jones. They started to make it for women with the diamonds, and then they got a tourbillon version of it. But this is one of the first.
That's the original Millenarium.
Yeah.
So we got the original Millenarium. What is this guy here?
This is the City Cell. So this is a limited edition Royal Oak. Obviously, it's rose gold. I love rose gold. Mm-hmm. They only made 200 of these.
Interesting. So you were paring down your watch collection. What made you decide to keep this one?
Because first, it's a limited edition. Mm-hmm. It's a special piece. Like, I haven't seen anyone with this. Now, there's probably 200 people running around the planet wearing this, but then again, it's 7 billion people, so the likelihood of me running into someone is probably very slim.
Yep.
Right?
It's funny, I've seen that in steel and I've seen it in platinum, I've not seen it in rose gold.
Exactly.
So it's a rare watch.
It's a rare watch. That's why I kept this one.
So the Royal Oak is something that kind of pervades through the whole collection. So what is this guy here?
So, I'm not really a diamond guy.
Yeah.
But I said, you know what? Sometimes if I want to have fun, you know, I'm with my constituent rapper friends and want to wear their diamond watches. I said, you know what? I'm going to get a nice, classy Royal Oak. It's called the Tuxedo Royal Oak, right?
Yep.
So as you notice, it's diamonds, but it's crushed diamonds, elegantly done. So this is like one, like I said, I might have wore this maybe like 2-3 times.
Yeah.
You know, if I just want to just get a little bling, you know, I get classically bling. This is probably one of my favorite everyday watch. This is the extra thin Royal Oak, obviously tourbillon, rose gold.
And this came out in 2012 for the 40th anniversary.
40th anniversary, exactly. It's one of these watches that, first of all, it was specially sized for my hand, so it sits on my hand perfectly, you know. Some of the watches sometimes, you know, you gotta go like this, you know, whatever. But this watch, man, is just a masterpiece. It's heavy, you know, it's solid. What's great about this also, you can wear it, you know, after 6.
Yep.
And you can wear it as everyday jeans and, you know,
Definitely.
gives you that swag. This is the Patek 10-day reserve, 5100J. This, I love this watch. It's just simple, but it's just so elegant. And you know what's great about, I love about these pieces? I love to wear watches where, even if you're not a watch collector, when you see them, you're like, man, these are nice watches.
You can appreciate it.
You can appreciate it, whether you're a watch collector or not.
So AP and Patek are still the two that you want.
That's the only thing, like, AP and Patek is the only thing I have in my collection. I had everything, but now, like I said, I'm a very focused, serious collector.
It's amazing stuff, and it's amazing to see that, like, you know, you've been doing this long enough to realize that you don't need to own everything, and that real collectors never need to own anything. Right. They want to own the best of the best. You pair down the collection, stuff that matters. Right. And that's what you've done here. And AP and Patek, I mean, those are as good as it gets. So what's the dream? What's the Grail watch?
The Grail watch for me is the Sky Moon Patek, rose gold.
Rose gold. You think someday?
Someday I'm definitely going to get that. Now, you know, I don't even have to tell you the price tag. You know, it's ridiculous. But to me, I think that is the ultimate. You know how you know that's the ultimate? When I just mentioned Sky Moon, you felt a rumble. The train coming underneath of it. That's how you know that watch is a serious watch. It hears its name being spoken. So I went to Dubai last year. So I'm looking for the Sky Moon. So I'm sitting down with these guys, and it was this, I guess, a low-level sheikh, but he's a billionaire. And my friend was like, oh, listen, my friend here, Pras, is looking for a Sky Moon. He said, what's that? He said, a watch. He said, oh, I got a friend that can give me any kind of watch. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I said to him, no disrespect, you can't get a Sky Moon. He said, oh, yeah. So he called his guy. Yeah, this guy's looking for a Sky Moon. Tell him, you know, just go find it. Yeah. You got 10 minutes, go find it, right? Mind you, it's like 11 o'clock at night, right? So the guy calls him back, and he's on the phone. He said, yeah, you found the watch? No? What do you mean? Really? How much? He looked at me, he says, that watch costs over $1 million? My friend is telling me I can't get it. He said even Sheikh Mohammed can't get it. I said, yeah, you have to go to Patek, you have to fill an application, and you have to wait. They don't care if you're Jesus Christ. Yeah. You have to wait. Yeah. There's no special, it's just what it is.
So you do a lot of stuff. You do music, you do social activism. Where do watches fall into all this?
It's just a hobby. Like how some people collect cars, women collect bags or shoes, you know, or art, for example, you know. I just happen to love collect watches, you know. I mean, I'm sure you could relate to this, and people who collect watches, you know, there's something about when you wear a watch that makes you feel a certain way, you know, especially when you understand what you're wearing and you understand about the movements and what it stands for, the history. It doesn't totally define a person, but it is part of a definition of a person, you know. And so for me, it's just when I wear it, it's something about it makes me feel a certain way. I think about my watches. Like when I get up in the morning, the mood I'm in is...
I know how it goes, believe me. I'm the exact same way.